These old and dirty Washington quarters could be hiding a life-changing fortune right inside your pocket change. Some rare error coins and silver quarters have shocked collectors by selling for thousands, even millions, at auction. But the craziest part? Many of these valuable coins look completely ordinary, worn out, scratched, and forgotten in old jars or drawers. Before you spend another old Washington quarter, check it carefully, because the next coin you find could become the most shocking jackpot of your life. What if I told you that an old, dirty 1998 P quarter hiding in your pocket right now could secretly be worth thousands of dollars? Most people see these coins every single day and never think twice about them. They spend them on coffee, parking meters, and vending machines without realizing they may have just handed away hidden treasure and life-changing value. But tonight, we're uncovering the shocking truth about the 1998 P Washington quarter, a coin that looks ordinary on the surface. Yet certain rare versions have turned into serious big money for collectors who knew exactly what to look for. And trust me, by the end of this video, you may never look at pocket change the same way again. The year was 1998. America was about to enter a brand new era of coin collecting. Just 1 year later, the famous state quarter program would explode across the country and change the hobby forever. But right before that massive transition happened, the Philadelphia Mint produced millions of Washington quarters dated 1998 with the P Mint mark. Most were normal, but not all of them. Some coins escaped the mint with mysterious errors that collectors are still hunting today. Tiny mistakes, strange strikes, missing details, and those minting accidents transformed ordinary quarters into hidden treasure worth far more than 25 cents. Now imagine this. A tired worker empties his pocket at the end of the day in 1999. One dirty quarter rolls under the couch and stays there for years. Nobody notices it. Dust covers it. Time passes. Then decades later, someone finally finds the coin, examines it closely, and realizes it's one of the rarest 1998 P quarter errors ever discovered. That's the kind of shocking discovery that keeps collectors awake at night. So let's start with exactly how to identify the coin. Look at the front of the quarter. You'll see George Washington facing left. Near the date, 1998, there should be a tiny P mint mark. That means the coin was minted in Philadelphia. And here's where things start getting exciting. One of the most valuable errors found on some 1998 P quarters is the double die error. This happens when the coin die accidentally strikes the design more than once at slightly different angles. The result? Letters and numbers can appear doubled or distorted. Look closely at the word Liberty, the date, and In God We Trust. Strong doubling can turn an ordinary quarter into a collector's dream. Some examples have sold for hundreds of dollars, while dramatic double dies in high grades can reach into the thousands. And most people miss these completely because the doubling can look tiny at first glance. Now here's another shocking error collectors love. The off-center strike. This happens when the blank coin isn't lined up correctly before being stamped. Part of the design may be missing entirely, leaving a strange blank area on one side. A small off-center 1998 P quarter could sell for $50 to $200. But dramatic off-center examples with the dates still visible have sold for thousands because collectors know how rare they truly are. And here's the crazy part. Some people spend these error coins without even noticing. Now let's talk about a mysterious mint mistake that looks almost fake when you first see it. The clipped planchet error. This happens when the metal blank is cut improperly before the coin is struck. The result is a quarter with a curved chunk missing from the edge. It sounds impossible, but these errors are absolutely real, and collectors pay serious big money for authentic examples. Depending on size and condition, clipped planchet 1998 P quarters can sell for hundreds or even over $1,000. But things get even more unbelievable from here. Some 1998 P quarters were struck on the wrong metal planchet entirely. Imagine holding a quarter that was accidentally struck on a blank mint for another coin. These wrong planchet errors can look copper-colored, smaller than normal, thinner, or unusually light. They're among the most valuable modern mint mistakes because they should never have left the mint in the first place. Collectors go absolutely wild for these coins. Some wrong planchet Washington quarters have sold for several $1,000s at major auctions because of their extreme rarity and shocking appearance. Now here's exactly how you can inspect your own quarter at home. First, check the color carefully. A normal 1998 P quarter should have a silver-colored surface with a visible copper stripe along the edge. If your coin looks unusually copper, gold-toned, or dull gray, pay attention. Second, inspect the rim. Valuable errors often have strange rims, flattened edges, or missing reeds. Third, weigh the coin. A normal quarter weighs about 5.67 grams. If the weight is significantly off, you may have discovered something special. What if the dirty old 1993 D quarter hiding in your pocket right now could actually be worth thousands of dollars, maybe even enough to completely change someone's life? Most people spend these coins without even looking at them. But collectors know a shocking secret. Certain 1993 D Washington quarters have become hidden treasure, and some rare error versions are bringing in serious big money. And tonight, you're about to learn exactly what to look for before another valuable coin disappears back into circulation forever. The 1993 D Washington quarter was minted in Denver, and on the surface, it seems completely ordinary. Millions were produced. Cashiers handled them every day. People tossed them into jars, couch cushions, and parking meters without a second thought. But somewhere during production inside the United States Mint, mysterious mistakes slipped through the machines, and those mistakes created some of the most exciting modern coin discoveries collectors still hunt today. Now imagine this. A coin leaves the Denver Mint in 1993. It travels across America for decades, through casinos, grocery stores, gas stations, and vending machines. Nobody notices anything unusual. The coin becomes scratched, dirty, old, forgotten. Then one day, a collector looks closely and realizes the impossible. That ordinary quarter is actually worth hundreds, maybe thousands. That's the thrill of coin collecting. And the craziest part is that these hidden treasures are still being found. So first, let's identify the coin properly. Take a close look at the front of the quarter. You'll see George Washington facing left. Near the date, 1993, you should spot a tiny D mint mark. That D stands for Denver Mint, and it's the first clue collectors look for. Now here's where things start getting exciting. One of the most valuable things you can find on a 1993 D quarter is a double die error. This happens when the design gets stamped more than once at slightly different angles during production. The doubling can appear on the date, the word Liberty, or In God We Trust. And some double dies are dramatic. If you see thick or shadow-like lettering, do not ignore it. Collectors pay serious money for strong doubling errors because they are rare and visually stunning. Some examples have sold for hundreds of dollars, while high-grade specimens can reach into the thousands. But that's only the beginning. Another shocking error collectors hunt is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin blank is not properly lined up before being struck. Part of the design may be missing, leaving a blank crescent-shaped area on the coin. The more dramatic the error, the more collectors love it. A minor off-center 1993 D quarter might sell for $100 or more. But major off-center examples with visible dates have sold for thousands at auction. Imagine finding one in an old coin jar. Now here's something many people never notice: the rim. A normal quarter has a perfectly shaped rim with reeded edges. But certain rare minting mistakes can distort the rim completely. Broad strike errors are especially valuable. These happen when the retaining collar fails during minting, causing the coin to spread outward. The result is a strange-looking quarter with flattened edges and an oversized appearance. Collectors absolutely love dramatic broad strikes because they're impossible to miss once you know what to look for. Depending on condition, some broad strike quarters have sold for hundreds or even over $1,000. But wait until you hear this next story. A collector once purchased a group of dirty Washington quarters for almost nothing at a flea market. Most people would have ignored them completely. But hidden among the coins was a rare mint error quarter later authenticated by experts. Its final auction price shocked everyone. Thousands of dollars from a coin that looked dirty and damaged. That's why experienced collectors always say never underestimate old and dirty coins. Sometimes the ugliest coins hide the biggest money. Now let's talk about one of the rarest possibilities of all: wrong planchet errors. This is where things become truly unbelievable. Occasionally, a quarter design is accidentally struck on metal intended for another coin. That means your 1993 D quarter could have the wrong weight, wrong color, or even the wrong size. Some wrong planchet quarters appear copper-colored instead of silver. Others feel unusually light or thin. These mint mistakes are extremely rare, and collectors will pay huge amounts for genuine examples. Some wrong metal Washington quarters have sold for several $1,000s because they are considered major mint disasters that somehow escaped into circulation. Have you ever looked at a dirty old 1990 D quarter and thought it was only worth 25 cents? What if I told you that one tiny mistake on that coin could turn pocket change into big money? Maybe even a hidden treasure worth thousands of dollars. And the craziest part? Some people have spent these coins without ever realizing the life-changing value hiding in plain sight. Today we're diving deep into one of the most mysterious modern coins collectors are hunting right now: the 1990 D Washington quarter. At first glance, it looks completely normal. Worn out, dirty, forgotten. But certain rare versions of this coin have shocked collectors at auctions and sent coin hunters racing to check every quarter jar in their homes. The 1990 D quarter was minted in Denver, and millions were produced. That's exactly why most people ignore them. They think a common coin can't possibly be valuable. But history has proven that sometimes the most ordinary-looking coins hide the biggest surprises. And here's where things start getting exciting. Some 1990 D quarters were struck with rare minting errors that transformed them from everyday coins into collector gold mines. We're talking about off-center strikes, double dies, clipped planchets, broad strikes, and even coins struck on the wrong metal. These errors can create huge collector demand because every mistake tells a story from inside the US Mint itself. Imagine a coin slipping through the minting machines incorrectly, escaping quality control, entering circulation unnoticed, and eventually ending up in someone's pocket for decades before being discovered. That's the kind of hidden treasure collectors dream about. Now pay close attention, because the first thing you need to check is the mint mark. On the front of the coin, just beside the date 1990, you should see a tiny D. That means it was minted in Denver. No D? Then you have a Philadelphia coin, and while that can still have value with errors, today we're focused on the Denver version. Next, examine the condition carefully. Most people think dirty coins are worthless, but sometimes old and dirty quarters are exactly the ones collectors want because they've survived untouched for decades. If your coin still has strong details on Washington's hair, sharp lettering, and visible rim lines, it could already be worth more than face value. But now comes the shocking part. One of the most valuable 1990 D quarter errors is the double die variety. This happens when the coin design gets accidentally stamped more than once at slightly different angles. The result? Letters and numbers can appear doubled. Look closely at the words Liberty, In God We Trust, and even the date itself. If you see noticeable doubling, your quarter could be worth hundreds or even thousands depending on the strength of the error and the condition of the coin. And collectors go absolutely crazy for strong doubling. In one auction, a dramatic double die Washington quarter sold for several $1,000s after experts confirmed the minting error. That's right, a quarter worth more than a used car simply because of a tiny mistake most people would never notice. But wait, it gets even crazier. Some 1990 D quarters were struck off-center. That means the coin wasn't positioned properly when it was stamped. Part of the design may be missing while the blank metal shows on one side. If the date is still visible on an off-center quarter, collectors often pay serious money for it. Small off-center errors may sell for $50 to $200, while dramatic examples can climb into the thousands, especially if the coin remains in excellent condition. Now imagine finding one of those in an old coffee can or junk drawer. And here's another detail most people completely overlook: the rim. A genuine valuable error coin often has unusual rim characteristics. Broad strike errors, for example, happen when the retaining collar fails during minting. The result is a quarter that looks stretched out with a strange flat rim. These coins look odd immediately, and collectors love them because they're easy to identify. Depending on quality, a broad strike 1990 D quarter can bring anywhere from $100 to over $1,000. But the hidden treasure hunt doesn't stop there. Some of the rarest Washington quarters were struck on the wrong planchet entirely. That means the quarter design was accidentally stamped onto metal intended for another coin. Think about that for a second. A quarter struck on a penny planchet, or even a foreign coin blank. These mint mistakes are incredibly rare and incredibly valuable. The wrong weight, unusual color, or smaller size can instantly signal something special. Some wrong planchet quarters have sold for thousands of dollars at major auctions because collectors know how rare these accidents truly are. So here's exactly how you can test your 1990 D quarter at home.